a different perspective on making a world trip. You see, many people, I think everyone basically, except the ones that did it anyway, everyone assumes that if they want to travel and always dreamt of doing a world trip, that it's too expensive and that they can't afford it. But that is a misconception, my dear, a big one. I traveled the world on my own for 2 years. And everyone's biggest question about my 2 years traveling the world, everyone had the one big question, and no one dared to ask it. Why? I basically have no idea. Doesn't make sense to me, but hey. They all wanted to know how much it had cost me. And I can tell you, because that's how it was in my case, 1 year traveling the world costs you less than 1 year staying at home. That's a huge one, huh? And a lot less costs you per month, a lot less per year than if you would stay at home. And if you've always wanted to do a world trip, regardless your age, when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s even. I met a woman there. She was also traveling by herself, and she was 72. Wow, she was awesome, like she fulfilled her dream. And she got huge respect from everyone that she met, And I would strongly advise you that if you've always dreamt of a world trip, then do it, my dear. Figure out a way how. You now know that it will cost you a lot less than 1 year staying at home. But of course, you don't have to sleep in 5-star hotels, eh? You have to sleep in how do you call that? Not bed and breakfast, but hostels. Cheap hostels, But watch it if you share a room with others, because unfortunately they tend to steal your stuff. But the world trip was the best decision in my whole life. Well, in one way it wasn't actually, but no, in one way it was the best decision of my life, and I will definitely never regret it. But in the other way, it was also the worst decision of my life. And why? Because after 2 years of traveling, and then you come back home, and then you have to put your 2 feet back on the ground and be realistic and live in the real world again, And whoa, that cost me big time mental-wise, So in that way, it wasn't, because that feeling lasted many years, It took me years before I didn't want to accept it, I still wanted my life of the 2 years, and I couldn't because, well, I ran out of money, then there's a time to come back. But you can live all your dreams when you go travel the world. And I would even strongly suggest even though that may sound spooky, to me it never felt spooky, but that you travel the world alone. And why is that? Because you meet every day many, many people like that, which you wouldn't do if you travel with the two of you, because then you aren't that open to speak with other people, and other people aren't that open to speak with you because they see that you belong together. And you don't meet as many people. And also for the locals, they invite you and everything. I had the best time of my life when I traveled the world. I went scuba diving and I became an assistant instructor, and I dived 6 times with whale sharks. And my stories about them, like if you would like to have stories of my world travels, then leave it in the comments. But I would strongly advise you to make a world trip, because 2 things will happen. You will notice that you didn't need to make plans only in general, because your plans of today change anyway because of the people that you meet. So the biggest lesson that you learn is that you don't need to plan, but because life happens by itself, you meet people and then they say, oh, you have to come with us. We go to Costa Rica, to wherever, in Costa Rica. And then you go with them. I spent my Christmas together like that, And it's the best thing that you can give as a gift to you. Because you will live with no regrets at your dying bed day, that you think, wow, I always wanted to travel the world and I didn't do it. That will hurt big time, my dear. I can promise you that, unfortunately. So make sure that doesn't happen. And you will have the best time of your life. You will meet shitloads of people. You will discover, the second thing that you will discover is that basically everywhere in the world it's the same. All people value family the most, their religion the most, and yeah, that's about it. Their family and their religion. They're really, really, everyone wants that, but then you have a fucking problem when you're in my case, that I broke with my family, except with my handicapped brothers, and so I don't have family anymore besides my brother. And that is not nice, and that hurts, because everyone puts family first. And they should do that. Don't get me wrong. They should do that if they were raised in a loving, warm family, But I wasn't, unfortunately. Not at all. The opposite. And I always dreamt of having a warm, loving, cuddling, supportive family that is extremely loyal to each other and has each other's backs, lifelong. That is my biggest dream. But, well, hey, life doesn't turn always out the way you want it. But you adapt, and you go accordingly. Then you have different values, My value is still family, because my brother is the one I love the most in my life. But, oh, I love him so deeply. He is so good of heart, and he's so kind, and he's so sweet, you know. You can learn shitloads of him. Him I admire the most from everyone in the world, you know. Fucking hell, he is impressive. And so sweet. Anyway, go travel, my dear. Make your world trip and do all the things that you want to do there. Before I went on my travels, I wanted to see the whales, but I had a huge problem, you know, because I was scared shitless of scuba diving. What if you would drown, you know? That would be the most horrible death there is. And so I needed to overcome my fear. And then I overcame my fear, and then it became my passion, and then I went working in it. And that was not nice. Then I hated diving because I had to take people with me, and I was responsible for other people, and I didn't like that about diving, you know. Diving for me was being with the animals at peace and on my own, or with my body, but not having to take the responsibility of 8 other divers, you know. So that ruined it for me, the diving. But I saw everything in the world that I always wanted to see, you know. And Uyuni Salt Lake in Bolivia is the most impressive, because that feels, especially if there's a layer of water on the floor, on the ground, like if you're on a different planet, you know. Anyway, go travel, my dear. Do it, or you will regret it for the rest of your life and on your dying deathbed. And you will feel shitty. So make sure that never happens. I always base my decisions on, if I don't do that, and when I turn 80, for instance, will I have said, oh, damn, I wish I had have done that? If that's the case, then I go for it. And if I say, no, I don't think I will regret not doing that, having done that, then I don't do it. That was it for this video. See you on the next one, eh? Bye. Leave in the comments, about if you want me to elaborate, go in detail about stories of my travels, you know, because that might motivate you even more. And I have plenty. See